to keep Canada's hopes alive. She is stuck. The United States wins gold.
What a game. Gives you the chills, doesn't it? Team USA and Team Idaho's Golden Knight took home the gold last night. A spectacular win in an overtime shootout. We're talking about that this morning.
Snow from overnight is going to be continuing this morning as we have a winter weather advisory for the first portion of the day.
And we're live from the roads this morning to give you a look at morning commute. Spoiler alert, it is not going to be easy.
You're watching Idaho's News Channel 7. This is today's morning news.
Good morning. A lot to get to this morning. Welcome to today's morning news. I'm Doug Petcast.
And I'm Maggie O'Mara.
Our top story, of course, is one of the biggest Olympic hockey games in history.
Yep.
Team USA and Team Idaho's Hilary Knight coming away with the gold medal against Canada last night.
What a game. What a game. But we start with team coverage on the weather because we are getting snow right now. Larry is tracking the snowstorm. We also have Joe on the road checking on those driving conditions.
Let's start with Larry, though, with what the situation is right now with the storm. Larry?
Well, the storm is still continuing at about the same rate. It started overnight, and what's happened is that weak system we talked about, but it is stalled. We're starting off with at least a couple of inches. We have as much as 3 to 4 inches that we're expecting out of this, and as you can see, it is still coming down. It's on the roads. Now, Joe's going to give us an update of what's happening in the roads in just a moment, but temperatures are cold enough that it's obviously sticking. It is beginning to move into the mountain home area as well, but we also have a little bit stronger winds. Now, in some spots where we do, it's going to be blowing, and it's going to reduce visibilities. Clouds are actually fairly low as the humidity is at 92% right now, and that means wind chill factors are also cold. So be prepared for the fact you may have to go out, sweep some snow off your car this morning, be dressed appropriately, and 34 degrees by this afternoon with some decreasing clouds. So it's eventually going to start to move out. But we are continuing to see some of these snow showers for this morning, and in fact, it's going to be going on through at least noontime, and then it'll start to break after that. Like I say, we have more information from Joe. He's out on the road for us this morning.
Yes, that's right, Larry, and we're driving through Meridian right now. We'll give you a look. We're actually seeing these similar conditions across the Treasure Valley here this morning, and it's not going to be a fun commute, I'll tell you that. We're seeing that snow that we've had coming down over the last few hours, and it's really starting to freeze underneath really on the roads. As we're driving through Meridian right now, on Meridian Road, you'll be able to see again in front of us that you got all that snow, and underneath that snow is ice, and we're seeing several slide-offs here this morning. We actually just saw one on Eagle Road on our way to Meridian. So it certainly is a little bit dangerous out there this morning. If we take another look, you can see behind us there that again, that snowpack is going to really start getting packed into the road as more and more cars head on it this morning. So we're really keeping a close eye on it this morning because it is going to be a messy drive and it's not going to get much better throughout the morning commute. We know that the temperatures are going to stay around freezing, so because of that, that ice isn't going anywhere. It might break up in some spots, but as you can see as we come out of this red light through the intersection, it's going to be slow rolling, and really even as we've been driving very carefully about 15-20 miles below the speed limit in some spots, our car with four-wheel drive is still actually sliding around. So Doug, Maggie, we're going to be keeping an eye on this all morning long because as rush hour really gets going, we're going to expect to start seeing some minor collisions and probably some slide-offs as well.
It's important to note, too, some of our school districts have mentioned that school buses could be running a bit late today. Be aware of that. There could be some delays because of the icy roadways. Thank you, Joe.
Well, anytime you have the USA against Canada for a gold medal, it is a really big deal.
It is, especially when it goes into overtime like last night's game did. After a scoreless overtime, Team USA defeated big-time rivals Canada in a penalty shootout 3-2.
USA won the gold medal for the first time since 1998, denying Canada its fourth straight Olympic title.
Team Idaho's own Hilary Knight got a lot of playing time last night. She even scored a big power play goal in the first period.
Congratulations to Knight and the town of Sun Valley, which now has another Olympic gold medalist to be proud of for sure.
Pretty exciting, really exciting. And coming up at 6:30, our sports guy Jay Tast will be joining us right here in the studio. He hasn't gone to sleep yet because he was here at midnight watching the game, but he's going to join us to fill us in on all the action with Hilary Knight and her reaction this morning on social media to winning the gold.
And Cassidy Quinn will be joining us live from South Korea, where the celebration after the game was pretty big as well. But hey, Team USA got a flurry of medals in Pyeongchang.
To the men's freestyle ski halfpipe we go, and Americans went gold and silver here. David Wise defended his gold medal on his very last run. Teammate and first-time Olympian Alex Ferreira took the silver.
Then in the Alpine combined, USA's Michaela Schifrin laid down a solid run, earning a silver medal for Team USA. This race includes a slalom run and a downhill portion. 2 medals now in this year's Olympics for Schifrin. Lindsey Vonn was actually in the lead after the downhill portion, but then she ran off the course, missed a gate in the slalom portion, so she was DQ'd, disqualified in the final race of what might be the final race of her Winter Games career.
And you know what? She had it.
Yeah.
She had it. That
Yeah,
was what made it so devastating. And over to the women's big air now. Team USA's Jamie Anderson now adds a silver medal to the gold she won earlier in slopestyle. Anderson now joins Kelly Clark and Shaun White as the sport's only 3-time Olympic medalist.
All right, here we go. The updated Olympic medal count for you this morning. Norway is still way in the lead with 35. Germany is second with 25. Canada third with 24. USA, with its big day yesterday, earning several medals, jumps up to fourth with 21, including 8 gold medals. We're going to have a lot more Olympic coverage throughout the show for you. But first of all, we have some more local news to get to this morning, and we start with this. New information this morning. The Payette Police Department is looking for a suspect they say stabbed a man 6 times. The department shared his picture on its Facebook page. It's of 20-year-old Jacob Kerr of Payette. Police say the stabbing happened at 7:30 p.m. last Thursday. Officials, though, believe Kerr is still in the area. If you see him, call the Payette Police Department at 208-642-6026.
Also new this morning, a drone defense demonstration took place on the steps of the Capitol yesterday. Top officials were there. Drones took off. They went on missions, then returned to home base. Black Sage Technologies, based in Boise, develops technology that detects, identifies, and defeats unauthorized drones, which can pose a threat. And during that simulation, Black Sage created a virtual fence around the Capitol, flew a swarm of drones into the protected area, and then demonstrated how to take them down using their devices.
Well, to sports now. Boise State men's basketball team traveled to Fort Collins to take on the Colorado State Rams last night in a very important game for the Broncos.
And after a bit of a slow start, the Broncos really caught fire. And listen to this. Boise State head coach Leon Rice, he was also fired up. He picked up a technical foul last night.
Not happy there. Chandler Hutchison had a huge game for the Broncos with 27 points. The Broncos improved to 22-6 overall with the 87-54 win over Colorado State. Next up, the San Diego State Aztecs next Tuesday.
Tip off at 9. You can watch that game on CBS Sports.
All right, well, let's get back to Larry now because we're watching this storm, the first one really that we've had in 2018. It's hard to believe that, Larry, but this one is going to cause some issues.
It is. It's really the first one that has affected the area. There was one in January that kind of threatened a little bit, never produced all that much, but this one's already produced more than 2 to 3 inches of snow on the ground. And this is actually that weak system that didn't have that much moisture embedded. The problem is it has stalled right over the Treasure Valley, which is why we're continuing to see some snow. You can actually see the reflection of the lights. Joe's out on the road this morning. He's reporting there's slick conditions all over. You will need extra time. You will need extra driving space, and temperatures are cold. We're at 25 degrees, 92% humidity. So not only is the snow coming down pretty strong, but we're going to be seeing it stick everywhere. But we also have some reduced visibility because of that 92%, which means that there's some lower clouds along with this. So be prepared for all of that. We also have a winter weather advisory. That's what you see with all this area that's in blue. That goes until about noontime today. But you can see we're looking at some spots out there where we are picking up a little bit more of that snow, kind of beginning to make its way through portions of Mountain Home in towards Glenns Ferry. Has not arrived in the Magic Valley yet, but we do expect to see that a little bit later on today. I'll show you that in just a moment. From the Northwest Satellite and Radar, this system actually started a little bit early and then stalled over us. So you can see it's just kind of gradually making its way through portions of the area, but we'll see a break that's going to be coming in behind it by this afternoon. We'll actually expect some breaks in the clouds, and we'll get warm enough. We'll have a little bit of melting of some of this, but there could be as much as 4 inches of snow on the ground before this finally begins to move forward. Here's what we expect with your 7 First Alert Futurecast, our computer model. We're going to pinpoint this because we're seeing the snow from last night and into this morning, but about 1:30 it begins to break just a little bit. It's moving into the Magic Valley. Now the Magic Valley won't warm up as much because the system will be arriving there a little bit later. Then we actually see some breaks in the clouds for some melting. It'll be breaks for tomorrow completely, and then we're going to be seeing a little bit more snow up through some of the area, including some of the mountains. In fact, as we can show you what's happening at Tamarack with their snow marker right there, it looks like they've picked up about maybe 3 to 4 inches of some snow in that area. Anyway, we're also going to be looking at this coming through and then producing a little rain-snow mix into portions of the valley, and of course that means we're going to be seeing a little bit more through the Magic Valley as well. Then we get morning snow each day through Tuesday with afternoon melting as temperatures are going to be warming into next week. Now, it's almost the spring season, so that's why we're seeing that. Now, we're going to be looking at the Magic Valley Valley doesn't quite get warm enough today to see any melting, so the snow that we pick up a little bit later on will stay for a little bit. For the Central Mountains, we're talking a good 2 to 4 inches of snow, and that's going to be sticking around with cold temperatures. In addition, for the West Central Mountains, we've already seen that there's about 3 to 4 inches at Tamarack by Donnelly, which means that likely Brundage Mountain has also picked up. So I think we can take a look at the Brundage camera. There's about 4 inches that they have picked up, so we're going to be getting more of that snow coming through. For the lower Treasure Valley, we also have 3 to 4 inches here in the valley. So really a lot of this is in the valley for this morning because you didn't see that snow coming down at Brundage, but we're looking at about 34, so we'll see some breaks in the clouds by this afternoon. Your 7 First Alert 7-day forecast for your weekend. It's always in view. Now that's where we're going to have the warmer temperatures, but you'll see morning snow each day through the first portion of the week, then warming completely by Wednesday of next week. Maggie, Doug?
Well,
Thanks,
with the women's hockey team's thrilling gold medal win last night, a lot of you might say, hey, I want to try that. I want to try hockey.
Well, there's a place you could do that right here in the Treasure Valley. I went there recently to channel my inner Olympian. I ended up with some bumps and sore muscles, but also an experience to remember. We have that coming up.
I was pretty impressed, Doug, I have to say. Also, models in Milan did their best to not lose their heads, so they carried them. This is the latest fashion trend. I don't know if it's going to catch on. It's coming up in What's Trending. Stay tuned. And right now, let's take a look at what is trending this morning. Over in South Korea at the Winter Games, there are some very hardworking robots on duty. Some give directions, some hand out snacks, some are just cute. This robot works at the press center at the Pyeongchang Olympics. He comes by every hour to see if people want some water. Wouldn't that be nice to have around the studio, Doug and Larry?
Huh?
Kind of cute. And they
Or
even have
coffee.
robot fish there. Check this out, robot fish. They don't
Whoa.
even use real fish in Pyeongchang, I guess, right?
Okay, that's different.
You never
their
have to
tanks.
feed them.
I guess so. You can save on fish food.
Yeah.
Also, it's always good to carry around a spare head with you. What? Get this. Yesterday, Gucci models carried replicas of their own heads in this terrifying runway show. Why would you want to wear these clothes after seeing this? People are just freaking out about it. It all happened at Milan Fashion Week, where anything goes. The fall-winter 2018-19 collection unveiled during the show. The models hit the runway carrying heads that were identical to their own. Well, whatever floats your boat, right?
No one even saw the fashion.
I don't even know if they
were
saw the
wearing.
clothes. I know I'd be focused on that head, that freaky head right there. And finally, everyone loves a good mystery when that mystery is a marshmallow, right? It's all the more intriguing. And now, Peeps is taking that to a new level. The chick-shaped springtime treat launched 8 new flavors, 3 of which, get this, are a mystery. Available only at Walmart, the plain white Peeps have surprising new tastes. And the company will announce the truth behind Mystery 1, 2, and 3 that you saw right there at an unspecified date closer to Easter. Among the other new flavors, sour cherry and pancakes and syrup tweets. What are they called? Peeps.
Peeps.
I called them tweets.
Tweets. Well, people tweet about Peeps. It's a peep tweet.
So
is what
Doug
that's
loves the
called.
Peeps.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the Peeps. I'll eat them, but I'm not really a big fan. Larry, what do you think about them?
No, definitely
Larry's no on the
not.
Peeps.
None,
They're
ever.
divisive.
Once
No,
a year.
No.
The regular ones, though. I don't know about sour cherry.
None.
You either love them or you hate them,
Yes.
right?
Well, still ahead this morning, a lot more to get to. Hundreds rallied outside the White House while President Trump held an emotional meeting with victims from school shootings, including that happened last week in Florida. The latest on the discussion of gun control and school safety coming up. Plus, how many times can I fall down in a short amount of time? Find out next when I channel my inner Olympian. And Brandy Garcia of Caldwell is our Facebook friend of the day today. We hope you have a great Thursday, Brandy. Be safe if you have to drive anywhere today. If you'd like to be our friend of the day on Facebook, log on, like our page, Today's Morning News, and we could choose you.
From News Channel 7, time for 7 First Alert weather.
And it is time to take a look at your national travel weather. Well, that same band of moisture has been coming out of the Gulf of Mexico and moving on up towards the northeast is still producing quite a bit of showers, but a lot of cold air is mixed in. It caused some flooding yesterday around portions of central Texas. Now they're getting some rain, snow, freezing rain through that area, turning to some snow, and we've got quite the contrast in temperatures. Of course, we have our snowstorm that is weak, but yet stalled over us and has produced as much as 2 to 3 inches of snow already in the valley, and we're cold enough for that. There's still the big contrast in those temperatures out along through the east, a lot of bumps along the way there. Your 7 First Alert 7-day forecast for your weekend is always in view. Well, we've got snow showers for today at about 34 degrees. We're going to be seeing some melting by later on this afternoon, and then we're going to be looking at a bit more snow in the morning. We get a break tomorrow. Snow each morning, Saturday through Tuesday with afternoon melting.
Okay, winter has arrived. It's officially here, right? Well, all this week, the four of us, we've been trying different Olympic sports that we've never tried before. Joe took on figure skating, Larry curling, I did cross-country skiing. Today, it's Doug's turn, and it's perfectly fitting after the big win last night.
Yeah, if I hadn't tried this a couple of weeks ago already, I would have done it after last night's game and been inspired to try ice hockey, because hey, even though I haven't even ice skated in about 35 years, I decided ice hockey was the sport for me. It makes sense, right? It's totally logical.
Yeah, it does.
Well, the folks at Idaho Ice World and Boise Parks and Rec rolled out the icy red carpet to allow me to channel my inner Olympian. There you go. Those up and over. Coming on them. Well, I can walk all right in them, but whether or not I can skate, we'll see. The first steps on the ice after a 3-decade layoff were, well, way wobbly. But I had a great coach, Idaho Ice World hockey coordinator Corey Scorin. He began with some simple skating skills.
Then with the stop, it's not like when you're skiing, you can just snowplow. Yeah, there you go.
I started to get the feel for it.
You're riding a bike.
Yeah, well, it's like riding a bike on ice.
Yeah.
Then we moved up to puck handling.
2 hands, always keep 2 hands. There you go.
Or in my case, puck mishandling. But practice pays off. Then a quick equipment adjustment.
Thanks, Mom.
And it's time to size up some slap shots.
Now you're going to come down on it and follow right through.
If at first you don't succeed, try again.
Oh,
Corey is patient and positive.
there you go. There it is. There you go.
And he knows what he's talking about.
I just think it's the greatest game on earth. A kind of combination of all sports together, you know, hand-eye coordination, balance, agility.
He played with the Idaho Steelheads for 4 years, even helped them win a Kelly Cup. At Ice World, he teaches beginners like me and other classes.
When they come in and they're hugging the boards, and by the end they're out there flying around, having fun, shooting the puck, scoring goals. It's really fulfilling.
Speaking of scoring goals, then one more one-on-one. And with that,
Goalie. Thank you. I always wanted to do that.
I was ready to scrimmage.
There you go, go for it, go for it.
Or was I?
Go to the net, go to the net. Stick on the ice, there you go. Oh, there it is. Well, that's all you right there. Oh, there it is. You need to change?
This is where all the scouts come to.
Yeah.
Scrimmages.
Oh, yeah.
That's where you get picked up.
I couldn't even get back outside the blue line before they were ready to come back down again.
Go to the net, Doug, go to the net.
All right, time to cheat.
All right, so how did I do?
You did great. I was really impressed. I was expecting you to be hugging the boards and you came out flying.
Well, this was fun.
Hey.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming out. Yeah, it was great. You did a great job.
Woo! That was fun.
That looked like it was a
the easy
spin you
skate.
did on purpose.
Yeah.
I did that one on purpose.
That
But
was
with the easy
nice.
skate, it's easy. It's pretty fun. You don't have to worry about falling so
That was
much.
so
I just want to know
fun.
how tired you were by the time you got the gear on.
I was already sweating by the time I got the gear on.
I was impressed
Yes.
with you, Doug.
You
This
did
shirt
great.
was pretty much soaked all the way
Look
through.
at
I have
you.
washed it since then.
Thanks.
But yeah, it was fun. They were so great out there. The Boise Parks and Rec and Idaho Ice World really rolling out the carpet for me to channel my inner Olympian. But if people want to try to do that, they do offer learn to skate and learn to play events. And there is a free Try Hockey for Free event on March 3rd. We have a hot link on KTVB.com with more info.
You can try these sports. It's really fun. Don't be
I had a
intimidated. Give it a
blast.
shot.
I think we all did.
Yeah, we all
if
had
we
fun.
can do it, you can do it, right? Well, let's go check in with Joe on the road. He is checking out the morning commute. Lots of snow out there, Joe.
Well, this is what we're dealing with, Maggie. Poor visibility and icy roads. This is a live look from Nampa, and coming up at about 6:30, we will fill you in about spots you need to avoid in the Treasure Valley this morning on what will be a messy morning commute.
Well, welcome back. Let's check in on traffic right now. It is a snowy morning out there. Larry says we could see up to 4 inches of fresh snow this morning. You can see road crews are already out treating the roads. The highway here at I-84 and 5 Mile also getting treated right now to keep ice off the roadways for you. A wave of student demonstrations beginning to have an impact on the effort to change our gun laws. Tracy Potts has the emotional White House meeting with victims and the president, plus a new restriction that President Trump seems willing to support.
It started in Florida.
Hope to achieve that every student feels safe in their classroom. I think we can make a difference.
And reverberated around the country.
We're fed up with having to feel unsafe in school.
Hundreds rallied outside the White House while President Trump held an emotional meeting with victims from school shootings, including Florida.
Should have been one school shooting, and we should have fixed it. And I'm pissed. Because my daughter I'm not going to see again.
Let's never let this happen again. Please, please.
The president inviting suggestions and promising to strengthen background checks and restrict gun sales to the mentally ill.
We're going to get them done. It's not going to be talk like it has been in the past.
He says he'll consider a plan backed by Democrats and Republicans to raise the age to buy rifles to 21, despite opposition from the NRA. Florida Republican Marco Rubio agrees.
I absolutely believe that in this country, if you are 18 years of age, you should not be able to buy a rifle.
Change prompted by students determined to make this tragedy the last. Tracy Potts, NBC News, Washington.
Now, last night at a town hall meeting in Florida hosted by CNN, students who survived the shooting demanded safer schools. They took on the NRA and Republican Senator Marco Rubio. President Trump, Governor Rick Scott turned down an invitation to appear on this one. Sheriff Scott Israel of Broward County told a cheering audience that elected officials will have to make decisions that keep the community safe or they're not going to hold office. Doug?
Well, Maggie, new overnight, the U.S. Embassy in Montenegro was attacked. National police say someone threw a hand grenade at the embassy before blowing himself up. No other deaths have been reported. Montenegro is the smallest of all the former Yugoslav republics. And also new this morning, an explosion on a ferry at a Mexican resort injured more than 24 people yesterday. Check this out. The injured include Americans from North Dakota. Security camera video shows a fireball and then debris flying as the ferry was docked in Playa del Carmen. Authorities say all the victims are expected to recover.
Right now, let's get to Larry, check in on the weather. We're getting snow out there, Larry.
We are. As a matter of fact, there's been snow that's been coming down since overnight, and we've got anywhere from about 2 to 3 inches on the ground right now, and we're going to be getting more, as much as 3 to 4 inches of accumulation. This is actually that weak storm system, but the problem is it has stalled over us. We're about 25 degrees right now, and that's why it's sticking. 92%. Reduced visibility out there. You're going to have some problems. You need extra driving room, extra driving distance, and extra time. 34 is they're talking about for your daytime high. In other words, clouds are going to decrease. We're going to break some of that. We'll actually get a bit of melting for this afternoon. Your 7 First Alert 7-day forecast for your weekend is always in view. Now we're going to be seeing a bit more snow showers in the mornings. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow we get a break. Then snow showers Saturday through Tuesday in the mornings with melting in the afternoons. A little more improvement as we go into Wednesday of next week.
Winter has finally arrived.
Sure has.
Thanks, Larry. Jay Tuss joins us after the break with the latest for Team Idaho at the Winter Olympics.
Also, Cassidy Quinn live in South Korea. Stay tuned. Plus,
we're going to continue our look at the candidates for Idaho governor with a profile of Lieutenant Governor Brad Little. Well, there is a new Golden Girl here in Idaho. Team USA and Team Idaho's Hilary Knight took gold with last night's super thrilling victory against Canada.
And I'm Cassidy Quinn live in front of the very hockey arena where that game took place. History was made, and of course, the fans were excited about it. I'll tell you all about their reactions coming up.
Snow from overnight is going to be continuing this morning, and we're going to be seeing some snow showers into the next few mornings.
And we're live from the roads this morning to give you a look at commute. Here's I-84 coming up. An update on trouble spots.
You're watching Idaho's News Channel 7. This is today's morning news.
We start with live team coverage on the weather because we are getting snow. We could see up to 4 inches of fresh snowfall. Larry's tracking this snowstorm. We also have Joe on the road checking on our driving conditions.
Let's start with Larry with the latest on this situation. We've already gotten more than 2 inches in the valley, right, Larry?
We do have about 1 to 2 inches. Joe just checked for us and said roughly about 1 to 2 inches of accumulation. Some spots a little bit more. And of course, we've been seeing some of this snow that's been coming down. We do expect to see that we're going to be at a high today, though, that will be getting us a few breaks by later on. But we're still looking at the snow mostly for this morning. We also have some winds at about 10 to 15 miles per hour out there, and that's going to be important to note because this snow started from overnight and it's going to be continuing. We got more of this that's going to come through into the afternoon. We will see again a few breaks out of that, but for the most part, what we're going to be looking at is the snow out there on the roads. That's some of the biggest issues, and you see it's still snowing even from our Skycam shot, and a lot of traffic is slowing down. But speaking of the road, let's get out to Joe to find out about those road conditions.
Well, thank you very much, Larry, and we've been tracking conditions all morning long across the Treasure Valley. A little bit of good news. It does look like visibility is improving a little bit. We'll give you a live look, though. This is I-84. We're headed east. We're headed towards Boise right now. We actually just left Nampa. This isn't the best view. You can see that our camera's got some water on it, so we'll give you another view. You can see it behind us here that traffic on I-84, it's moving not too bad. We're actually moving about 30, 35 miles per hour right now. I spoke with Ada County Dispatch and Idaho State Police a short time ago, and they tell me they are dealing with crashes and slide-offs here this morning. We also saw one ourselves on Eagle Road. One car got put sideways. So when you're driving out this morning, you're going to want to be extra careful because we are seeing that ice on the interstate and on those side roads as well. It actually looked like road conditions in Nampa were a little bit better than they were in Meridian and Boise this morning. So keep that in mind when you are heading in and around the city. But Doug, Maggie, things are getting a little bit better this morning, but they are going to be icy for the duration of morning commute.
All right, Joe, thank you very much. The key here this morning, of course, give yourself some extra time.
Yeah, go slow, right? Well, the U.S. women's hockey team finally broke Canada's stronghold on the gold medal last night. It was incredible.
Another showdown between the game's 2 best teams and ended with Team Idaho's Hilary Knight getting a gold medal after winning 2 silvers in previous Olympics.
And sports director Jay Test, he never went to sleep because it was such a thrilling victory. He joins us right now this morning. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm so happy that everybody got a chance to witness this rivalry last night because it is one of the fiercest rivalries, not just at the Olympics, but really in sport. I mean, Team Canada had the best of the United States over the last few years, and well, last night though, a bit of a different story. You can see here, Hilary Knight scores a goal right near the end of the first period, and well, following that goal, she talked about how nerve-wracking it is to play in a gold medal game.
A little bit of nerves. Obviously, it's the biggest game of our lives, so that's expected, but also a lot of excitement as it showed out there.
After your power play goal, did you notice a little bit different energy on the bench?
Absolutely. We want to put the pucks in the back of the net, and it always feels good to do that.
How physical is this game going to be?
It's going to be a grind. Next 2 periods, I'm really looking forward to it.
Weren't we all, Hilary? Now, Team Canada would get on the board twice in the second period, which meant, well, Team USA needed a savior. Monique Lamoureux would be that player. She tied the game at 2 with just over 6 minutes to go. So, after a scoreless overtime, we go to a shootout, tied at 2. Hilary Knight with a chance to be the hero there. She couldn't finish what she started. That's okay, though, because Hilary, back in October, told me that this team is the best team that she's played on, and the team would prove why. Check it out. That right there would be your game winner, as Team USA would get one more stop and win the gold medal. An unbelievable moment for the country, and obviously Hilary Knight, she won back-to-back silver medals at the Vancouver Games in 2010, and then again in Sochi, but now she gets that gold medal around her neck. Now, earlier this morning, Hilary took to social media to kind of share some of her thoughts, and this is why I personally think that Hilary is such a special person, because once again, it wasn't about her. Nothing in this tweet is about Hilary other than the cool gold medal, I guess, around her neck. But she says that this one is for you, talking about everybody back home, everybody that supported her. What an awesome, awesome display of appreciation, I guess you could say, because Hilary's a great ambassador for the game. She wants to inspire young girls to be, honestly, like her, go chase their dreams. And hey, girls can play hockey too. And if you look at Hilary Knight, she can achieve a whole lot.
Well, yes. She's incredible.
We need to go to South Korea now. Let's check in with Cassidy Quinn, who is live there for us. You were outside the venue when all the fans came streaming out, right, Cassidy? It must have been quite a party.
Oh my, yeah, it was a party. I mean, of course, not as much of a party as it was inside the stadium, which, by the way, is right behind me. I don't know if you guys can hear some very soothing, lovely music playing in the background. That is coming from the Gangneung Hockey Center, which, yes, is right behind me here in the middle of the Olympic Park, and that is where history was made by the U.S. women's team, who also, by the way, the entire team, or most of those ladies at least, were over here on the Today Show set about an hour ago. So stay tuned for that on the Today Show, of course, this morning. But oh my goodness, so my workspace where I was sitting editing video that I had shot during the Olympics today is about 5 minutes away. So as soon as they got into the shootout, a bunch of us were like, we have to go over there. We have to go over there and do a Facebook Live, talk to the fans. And the fans were so excited. Oh my goodness. I mean, the Canadian fans, not as excited. They didn't want to talk as much. But the U.S. fans, I've never seen so many patriotic outfits. There were people in like full-on head-to-toe stars and stripes, red, white, and blue, hats, all kind of things, and just chanting USA at the top of their lungs. And the crazy thing, as Jay was just talking about, everyone was just on the edge of their seats the whole game, because you never know. You never knew who was going to win the gold, who was going to end up with the silver. So the fans were shocked. Most of them were like, I'm not going to have a voice at work tomorrow because I've been screaming so much. And that's probably how you guys felt watching it on TV back there, too.
Pretty exciting. I mean, what a game, really. I mean, it's just incredible. And Jay hasn't even gone to sleep yet, Cassidy, so.
A little quick nap overnight, maybe.
He had that adrenaline.
Wow, okay, take a nap, Jay.
Cassidy, you're up like 24/7.
You're on South Korea time. It's almost bedtime
I
over
don't have any
here.
room to talk.
She hasn't slept in 3 weeks.
That's right.
So
And she looks amazingly good for that. You look incredible. All right, thank you so much, Cassidy. We appreciate you joining us.
we'll see you tomorrow again.
Yeah, she joins us every day. Well, thank you, Jay, also for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say this, though, too. I mean, just think about it. The gold medal was decided not in overtime, but in a shootout. I mean, these two Titans went as far as you possibly could go.
Incredible.
I mean, a standard shootout, you get 5 opportunities. They needed a 6th opportunity. I mean, they literally went as far as you possibly could go.
Kept everybody on the edge of their seats.
Team USA, well, they were just a little bit better last night.
Amazing.
So,
That's why you got the gold tie
Yeah,
on.
gold tie on today.
I love it.
Gold medal.
All right, thanks, Jay. Well, let's get to Larry, because, of course, the other huge story of the day, we are getting snow today, Larry.
Yeah.
Up to 4 inches of fresh snowfall expected.
That's what we're talking about total out of this. And so far, we picked up about 2 inches. You can see it's still coming down. It's getting a little bit lighter, but not much. And obviously, the roadways are being an issue for today. That's why Joe is out there bringing us all his reports and indicating that, yes, slow down, more space, more time in order to make it in. This snow is not going to be ending right away. What this is that weak system, but it has stalled over us. So that's why we're getting as much here. We're not getting as much in other locations. And in fact, you can actually see that from your live storm tracker 7000. This is really where the snow is concentrated. This is right here around the local area. Still not quite made it to Glens Ferry. It's been moving through portions of Mountain Home, but it will be on its way later. But we're also looking at a winter weather advisory. It's been posted until noontime. And by afternoon, it should be all done, and then some breaks in the clouds, in fact. What this is, again, is still some of that weak upper level trough, that is, that's been bringing in the showers. There's not that much. We actually have some breaks in behind. A lot of this is going to track further to the south. Then what we'll have is a break for tomorrow. We're going to have some colder temperatures with that, so it's going to be staying pretty much into the 30s. The next wave will be coming through by Saturday. So as we take a look ahead to your 7 First Alert Futurecast, our computer model, we're going to pinpoint that because we already see some of the snow that's been coming down for this morning. We're going to go through that time frame, but we're going to pause this afternoon. That's where we expect to see it in the Magic Valley, and it's going to start to break up here by about 1 o'clock, 1:30. Then we'll see some more breaks through the evening, and it's going to be kind of clearing into tomorrow for both areas, Magic and Treasure Valleys. Then we're going to be seeing more snow start to move in by Saturday. That's where we expect it on Saturday morning. We're going to have some more of those showers, then turning to a little rain-snow mix about the time it moves through the Magic Valley. Mountain areas will be picking up more snow out of that. Total for the mountains now looks like it could be about 5 to 6 inches. The valleys are going to have melting each afternoon, so we won't have that much accumulation. So for the forecast today, not quite warm enough to melt in the Magic Valley because it comes through later in the day. So expect to see some of that snow. There will be some breaks by the end of the day. Now for the central mountain areas, again, we're going to be seeing some snow here as well. Temperatures pretty much into the upper 20s, so it's just snow. And for the west central mountains, also the same thing. Maybe about 4 to 5 inches. Some of the higher elevations could get up as much as 6. We're also going to be seeing the lower Treasure Valley so far about 1 to 2 inches and maybe 2 to 4 by the time it wraps up through this afternoon. And we're going to be seeing that for the upper Treasure Valley. This is really the area that's getting the most. We're looking at 3 to 4 inches of snow right around the local area, and then some breaks and some warming through the afternoon. Your 7 First Alert 7-day forecast for your weekend is always in view. Well, we're going to be looking at those snow showers again Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday of next week. And then we're going to be seeing temperatures that will be warming each afternoon to get a little bit of melting. And I think we've got some traffic cams we can try to show you around the area. Joe's been doing a great job showing us all this, but you can see there's snow in all roadways. Some of that's blowing off with the traffic, but the roadways are still very slick.
Yes,
so be careful.
Also, school districts have told us, we don't know of any school closures, but several schools may have late bus drivers today because of the roadways.
Just because of the snow, not actually official delays, but it could be a little late at the bus
A little bit
stop.
late, yeah. You don't want those kids hanging out at the bus stop too long.
No, not too long. Well, Larry is still to talk about a big fundraiser that's coming up. It's a popular one every year.
It is one of the popular ones. 56th annual is the Country Fair and Auction for Napa Christian Schools. Coming up in Where's Larry?
And welcome back. Larry has a special event coming up, and it's a popular one too.
It is, you're right. And people in the Valley look forward to this one every year just because there's so much variety of things that have been donated from the community. Here, check this out.
Yeah.
Hey, we're over here at Napa Christian Schools because we are talking about their annual country fair and auction. Dr. Greg Wiles with us about that. This is great. This is the huge fundraiser, but it's the community that comes together to help.
Absolutely. We appreciate all the community support that we get every single year. This is our 56th year of having this auction.
It's actually kind of a 2-day event, and it actually starts on Friday. So it's the day that we're going to be, looking at all of this stuff. And it actually starts with what, dinner?
Starts with dinner. If you like tri-tip steak dinner, on Friday night, it is delicious.
Right, and that's the silent auction opens at the same time, 5 o'clock. The live auction starts at 6:30, then wraps up the next morning on Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday's still a full house. We have breakfast in the morning, lunch if you'd like, and then plenty of items to choose from.
Right, so very good. If you missed any of those details, just check it out online. Have all that for you on Where's Larry, KTVB.com. And all the times and the details are there. Okay, like I say, technically free to attend, but of course, if you buy breakfast, buy dinner, buy something, you're giving money, obviously.
That's right.
That's a full gym.
It is. I mean, that's not even all the stuff. They have 3 times that stuff that they continue to bring out during the auction. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
Plan to arrive early and stay long.
Whoever organized it is organizing that. That is a lot of great work there. Well, coming up on today's Morning News, we are meeting all the major candidates in the race for governor this week.
Stay with us next to learn more about Republican candidate Brad Little. Stay tuned.
From News Channel 7, time for 7 First Alert weather.
Welcome back. Of course, we have snow that is falling over the area. Joe is out on the road giving us plenty of reports, but you can see from this 4-way split, Broadway, Myrtle, several other locations that was at Broadway, Boise, and Broadway, Beacon is all what we're looking at here. So there's snow on the road everywhere. It's really about 1 to 2 inches, depending upon where you are, but it continues to come down, and we're going to be seeing a little bit more. Let's take a look, even our own. And in fact, as you can see on the connector, you can actually see the shadows of some of the snow that's coming down in the headlights. Everyone's taking their time. More space, more time. You're going to need that for this morning. 25 degrees is where we are right now, and we're going to be looking at a high today that'll be about 34 degrees, so we'll actually get a little bit of melting into this afternoon with some breaks in the clouds. This is that little simple system that just stalled over us. Your 7 First Alert 7-day forecast for your weekend is always in view. The next one is going to be kind of lingering, just some snow in the mornings, melting in the afternoon.
Thanks a lot, Larry. Well, all this week we are profiling the gubernatorial candidates. 3rd-generation Idaho rancher and 42nd Lieutenant Governor Brad Little wants to be the Gem State's 33rd governor. We asked each candidate where they would like to be interviewed. Lieutenant Governor Little chose his ranch outside Emmett. I went there to find out what makes him tick and his vision for Idaho.
I don't know why he's got such long hair this year, given how mild it's been in the winter.
Lieutenant Governor Brad Little grew up on his family's sheep and cattle ranches, including this 3,000-acre ranch outside Emmett. His grandfather came to this area from Scotland more than 120 years ago.
And his first job was up the creek there. And so in 1894, he walked up this, there was nothing here. There was an old stage road here, and he walked up there for his first job.
The 64-year-old Little still enjoys working on the ranch when he can.
Now, last winter when the snow was really bad, it wasn't near as much fun as it is now.
He also says ranch life helped develop his work ethic and his conservative political philosophy.
Being regulated by the government, that's part of it.
Operating the ranch for most of his life and operating in the state capitol for the last 17 years have led up to today and his desire to be the next governor. He believes governing boils down to one question.
how do we create the best opportunity for our kids and grandkids to stay here, and for those that left to come back. That's what I'm passionate about.
His answer to that question has many components, including lower taxes, affordable health care, and a good education system. For education, he believes in raising teacher pay, encouraging career technical education, and focusing on the reading skills of the youngest students.
The rest of the program is much more difficult if these kids aren't reading proficiently at the end of the 3rd grade. This is myself and my dad roping calves.
We continued the conversation at his home in Emmett that he shares with his wife of 40 years, Teresa, and where they raise their 2 sons. He believes tax relief will help families and businesses. He supported the unemployment tax break that's now law, supports lowering the state income tax, and eliminating the 6% grocery tax, an issue on which he split from Governor Otter.
Groceries are a fundamental need of everyone, and why would you tax it, given the fact that every state around us doesn't tax it except for Utah, and they tax it at a much, much lower rate.
And he says more affordable health care is key. He's touting a plan he worked on that allows insurance companies to offer cheaper policies that don't have to meet all the requirements of the Affordable Care Act. He and the governor signed the executive order that set the wheels in motion. The idea targets those who choose not to buy insurance because they can't afford it.
Insurance doesn't work if the young and healthy aren't buying the product. And so what this does is make a much more affordable product available to those people, widen the pool, and will lower the cost of health care to everybody.
Little says he sees some similarities between wrangling cows on the ranch and wrangling votes in the legislature, but also big differences.
As a ranch owner, you were ultimately had to make all the decisions. Even as governor, you still got a board of directors of 105 people that come with a whole diversity of different issues. And if you can't work through that, you got problems.
The primary election is on May 15th. Tonight after the Olympics, we'll feature Republican Tommy Alquist. And then tomorrow, we wrap up our series of candidate profiles with Congressman Raul Labrador. The others are on our website, ktvb.com.
Top stories and weather coming up next. And weather, a big deal this morning. We're expecting up to 4 inches of fresh snow.
Yes, we're going to have the latest on that with Larry and Joe on the road. But first, here are today's school lunch menus. We'll be right back.
And we're live here this morning for Joe on the Road. We're tracking road conditions across the Treasure Valley. You're looking at the intersection of Chinden and 10 Mile. And what we're seeing so far this morning are icy and messy conditions across the Treasure Valley. We have multiple reported slide-offs, some crashes, so be very careful this morning. From Ontario all the way across the valley, we're seeing some bad conditions. So, Doug, Maggie, we're going to keep an eye on that. And also, Larry has got your forecast for the day.
Thank you very much, Joe. Yeah, and as you can see from Joe, I mean, there are school buses out there. There's no closures in the schools, but obviously everyone's moving a little bit slower. This is still coming. This is actually that stalled system, but it's just stalled over us, and it's just producing more snow because of that. We're probably going to get most of the snow right here in the Treasure Valley. There's a bit of reduced visibility as well, as Joey pointed out, and we're going to be looking at some breaks by this afternoon. 34 degrees, a little bit of melting, not that much because it doesn't warm up until later in the day. And then your 7-first alert, 7-day forecast. Your weekend is always in view. Breaks for tomorrow, but then we'll be looking at more morning snow showers into the first of next week. Maggie, Doug?
Larry, be careful out there, everyone. More on this on 24/7.